Greetings, beloved, and I hope you all had a very merry, non-denominational wintertime celebration. Because, as you all know, Christmas is now illegal and saying Merry Christmas is a federal offense. So if I ever see it in my comments down below, I'm locking your ass in jail and throwing away the key. So I wanted to do something light and breezy for my last video of 2020. A bedtime story of sorts. And I figured, what's the best place on the internet for fiction literature, if not the Am I the Asshole subreddit? Now, I've searched far and wide for a story that those text-to-speech YouTube channels have yet to cover on their channels, and unfortunately I came out of this empty-handed. But through all this research, I figured I got the essence of these stories pretty locked down. So that's why today you'll be delighted by my rendition of every Reddit story ever. Hi Reddit, long-time lurker, first-time poster, typing this on a rotary phone, so please excuse the less than stellar formatting. I am using a throwaway account, changed the names, and I'm keeping things vague. My boyfriend doesn't use Reddit, nor does he have a cell phone or access to internet, but I'm sure that if he did, he would certainly find my username. Me, 22 female, and my boyfriend, 43 male, are child-free by choice. I am so child-free, in fact, that when I first started dating my boyfriend, I made him promise to run me over with his car if I were to ever get pregnant. Him, being the romantic type that he is, told me that if that were the case, he would push me down the stairs, hold my head underwater, punch me in the stomach until I cough up blood, set me on fire, and frame me for murder. We've been together for a happy 6 years. Yesterday I had to go to the doctor. I was already in the waiting room for about an hour, and despite the long waiting time, I didn't notice the other people sitting there with me until the following events occurred. Enter entitled mom, EM for short, 40-ish female, Karen for long. Karen and her rabbit offspring, 5 years old, male, were loudly complaining about having to sit in a germ-infested waiting room in the middle of a pandemic. She also mentioned how she is never going to wear a face mask because those are for sheep, not lions like her and her family, and that if Donald Trump hadn't been robbed of his rightful election, he would have already saved the American folk from the tyranny of having to wear a muzzle. She also mentioned in passing that she was an anti-vaxxer. The kid was also nothing short of a monster. He was jumping around on all the furniture, wiping his nose on all available surfaces, switching up patients' charts, and causing comedically cartoonish accidents to occur. He was pulling IVs out of people's arms, impersonating surgeons, calling bomb threats to the hospital, and just in general causing a great deal of bodily harm to others. All of a sudden, he turns his attention towards me. And mind you, I was just there, minding my own business, playing this underrated gem of a video game called Witcher 3 on my Nintendo Switch. The thing you must know is that this is one of my most prized possessions. Growing up, I didn't have the best relationship with my father. Him and my mom got married very young, and I guess he wasn't prepared to be a dad at that age. My earliest memory of him is when I was 5 and he told me that he wished his pull-out game was stronger all that time ago. After that, he just kept spending more and more time away from home, until I was 7 when he finally told me and my mom that he was leaving us for his secretary, which absolutely broke my mom's heart, especially since he was a gas station attendant and didn't even have a secretary. Over time, trying to keep in contact with him has proven to be extremely difficult, especially since he would disconnect his number every time I successfully managed to get a hold of him. However, a couple of years ago, he messaged me out of the blue saying that he was dying and that he was very sorry for not being there for me when I needed him, and for trying to convince my mom to abort me until I was the age of 3. That's why he bought me this generic console. He wasn't much of a gamer himself, but he still wanted me to have something to remember him by. The Crutch Goblin finally stops trying to bring down the property value of the entire facility and turns his attention to me and demands that I give him my Switch. Karen hears this and chimes in that I am too old for this anyway, and that video games aren't for girls, and that I should just pick up more ladylike hobbies such as catfishing soldiers on Facebook or procreating. Now they're both ganging up on me. The thing you must know about me is that I am an absolutely tiny woman, a minuscule female. I am 5'1" and I weigh 95 pounds soaking wet. I have dyed black hair and piercings in both my ears, my nose, my eyebrow, my lower lip, and my nipple. That day, I was wearing my favorite Star Wars t-shirt and a black miniskirt. Makeup isn't really my thing. Unlike most of all you females, I've been told plenty of times that I look good even without it. A lot of people tell me that they think I'm such a badass because I look like such a metalhead, but the truth is that deep down I'm a marshmallow, and if you raise your voice at me, I will cry. That day, I was not wearing a bra, and this toddler is huge. I know he must have only been like 5 years old, but he had to be at least 6 feet tall. At some point, I turned towards Karen and owned her in the most savage way by telling her that she's fat, her husband will probably lose his job in the impending economic crisis, the bank will repossess their house, and her breeder husband will probably have to burn Junior for warmth when they become homeless. At this point, Karen broke down and started crying, but I was too busy to notice because I was just getting high fives by everybody. When I set up to leave, the little old lady sitting next to me reached out to tell me that she had called the police, which I later found out that they came and arrested Karen on the spot and gave her 3 life sentences without parole. Anyway, I went home and told my boyfriend all this, and he told me that I have been underreacting actually. So what I'm asking you now, Reddit, is would I be the asshole if I camped out in front of my vegan neighbor's house and ate KFC and moaned aggressively each time they passed by a window? And that was all for today. Thank you guys so much for watching my video, and I hope you all have a very boring 2021, and I'll see you in the next one. My actual New Year's resolution is to stick to a filming schedule, if that's possible. So yeah, until then, remember to be gay, do crimes, be trans, throw hands, be bi, and never die, I guess. I don't know, I never really claimed my outros to be perfect, so there you go. Anyway guys, please subscribe to my channel and support me on Patreon if you can and want. That is, your support helps me and this channel more than you know. So yeah, there you go. Bye.